Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance because you tuned into Eye on Las Vegas with humble host Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy, and you tuned into this show for one reason only. It's the best reason in the whole world because you care the most in the entire world about you. And that's great because when you become the best you make the world a better place. Build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love. So this show is all about a place nearby where I live. I am privileged. My wife and I and grandsons and such live in a wonderful community in a beautiful city called Henderson, Nevada, which is not even a stone's throw. You got to drive, thankfully, 20 minutes away from the Las Vegas Strip. Whenever I mention the two words Las Vegas, people's eyes open up and ears open up and they lean and say, tell me more. Well, I can tell you more. It's not just about sex and gambling. Okay. It's about energy and excitement and love and goodness. And that's what happens certainly here in Henderson, Nevada. We are so privileged today to have with us the mayor of Henderson, Nevada. And you're gonna love her because she is capable and smart and really loves the community because she grew up here. But before we do that, I just want to tell people some data points about Las Vegas because it's so fascinating. People love it. I mean, we're talking about 500,000 people around the world right now tuning in because everybody likes the idea of Las Vegas. So let me tell you something. If you had to take the entire population of the city of New York, everybody around it, the entire population of Chicago, everybody around it, the entire population of Los Angeles, everybody around it, and add in all the people in the state of Florida, it doesn't equal the number of people that come to Las Vegas in a year. 41 million people come here every year. Why? Because it's a place of energy and goodness and excitement. It's the entertainment capital of the world, and we are privileged to live in the shadow of it in a wonderful place where you can actually raise a family. So without further ado, I'm just so honored to introduce you to and with the wonderful mayor of Henderson, Nevada, Mayor Michelle Romero. Michelle, please say hello. 528,900 people around the world.
Hello, and welcome to Henderson.
Well, I'm going to tell people again, and then I'd like you to wax eloquent about it. Henderson is a unique place. And where it is geographically, of course, outside of the Las Vegas Strip, which again, I just mentioned, everybody in the world knows about that. And here in Henderson, we have something that's special. It has at least three remarkable aspects I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to ask you just to speak because you're the key. Okay. One of them is that it's a tremendous place for education. We're focused on education through K through 12 and higher with UNLV and just so many good things here. We are also one of the safest cities in the United States of America. And today that's saying something. And number three, I say this, it's the best walking city in America. It has, the whole area of Henderson is over 100 square miles. So you can imagine, and it was not just desert. There's lots here. So Michelle, with your permission, please tell us about, first of all, who you are, your background, why you care so much about this remarkable community and what it means to be mayor. Let's take one question at a time. Who are you?
So I am Michelle Romero. I'm the current mayor of Henderson. I have lived in Henderson my entire life. I worked for the city for 25 years in a variety of different departments, but the last 16 years I was in redevelopment. So I was in charge of making sure that there was investment, activity, and amenities in the older parts of town to match what we find in the newer parts of town. So I raised with my husband, I raised my family here, and now everyone from my mother to my grandkids live in Henderson. So everything that I do is personal. I want Henderson to be wonderful for all families.
So I'm going to mention to people something about my background. I was born in a place called Dorchester, Massachusetts, raised in a great city, town actually, called Brookline. Brookline is a town, 50,000 plus people when I was living there, in a remarkable town. And one of the things about a town is you get a feeling of community. You know a lot of people in the high school, you know everybody. I mean, just that's the nature of a smaller place. I can tell you something, Michelle. That's the feeling I get here in Henderson. When we go walking, or I am an avid swimmer, so I use the multi-generational center
Oh,
5 days a week. And we become friendly with people. It's so wonderful. That's the vibe that we have in Henderson. I'm not making it up, am I?
no, it's on purpose. That is very much by design and through decisions that leaders throughout our past and current leaders have made, to specifically separate ourselves from Henderson or from Las Vegas. From Las Vegas, you can get the nightlife, you get the what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in Henderson, you can tell everybody about, because we're all about family. We're all about outdoor activity, sports, and gathering places, and just things that are wholesome and good and bring people together.
So let's talk about your family just for a moment, if you'd be so kind, because
Sure.
you have children. You say you worked for the city for 25 years. Anybody who's watching, not just listening, I have to say this to Michelle. They let you work at the city when you were 16?
Close. Or not.
I mean, it's really something special here. And let's also tell people, because let's be blunt, Henderson has great weather. People don't tend to think of Las Vegas area. My God, it's always 111 degrees there. Well, it's not true. Now, maybe I'm opening up too many people come living here. However, the weather here is really beautiful 9 months out of the year. 3 months, yes, it is hot. However, as we all say, dry heat. This is the Palm Springs of non-taxable, non-gouging places. Not Palm Springs, you have California stuff, and it's dirty politics and a lot of taxes. Here we have Palm Springs, and the tax base is wonderful. Lots of great golf courses, right?
There are numerous opportunities for activities. Just from the city's perspective, we have 77 parks. We have 8 recreation centers. Our goal is to have a park within a 10-minute walk of every resident in the city of Henderson. And we are about 85% there. And so we are constantly looking at opportunities to partner with developers to create recreational space for our residents and make sure that there are every kind of recreational activity that you would want to have available is near you in some fashion. So we also have, to your point, we have 300 miles of trails in the city of Henderson.
So I want everybody to hear the word that Michelle used. It's the G word. It's called goal. See, unless you have a goal and it's stated and it's articulated, and everybody can literally, I could probably go into City Hall and ask a regular person who works for the city, what's the goal of what we do here? And I bet you they would be able to say exactly what you said, Michelle. Is that correct? I mean, people buy into the goal.
They would. And actually, we operate as a city under a strategic plan with 5 strategic priorities, and they could name all 5 strategic priorities as well.
Okay, so this is the goal, the dream of every organization in America and the world, that not only the people at the top who set the strategic goal, but the people involved buy into the vision, primarily because many of them live here. And they want this to be what you said. I mean, I'll just mention, you may know this. So the mission statement, if you ask somebody who works at high level of Coca-Cola, what's the mission? And the mission is to what they call to Coca-Cola within arm's reach. I love the goal that you said, a park or a recreation facility within 10-minute walk. Hello, isn't that fabulous?
I think it is. And I think many of our residents think it is too. And we have, we survey our community every other year on a variety of different issues about every aspect of city government. We ask them how we're doing, how they feel like they're getting a bang for their buck and that kind of thing. And we also rank quality of life. And last year when we did the survey, and it's a neutral third party that does it for cities across the country, we ranked 40 points higher than the next closest city for quality of life.
And by the way, it's true. I'm not only am I an exponent of telling people I'm happy that we live here in Henderson, I utilize what is available here: clean air,
Yes.
parks, the ability to drive in an area where you're not assaulted by graffiti and people living on the streets.
Yes.
And let's talk about safety. Let's talk about safety. So people know, because I've been doing the podcast for a while, so I'm Jewish and observant, and we go to a synagogue. The synagogue, the city is sensitive to what's happening, not just because it's a Jewish gathering place, because of right now what's happening.
Correct.
And without us having to go and pound on a door and say, help us, it's being aware of what's going on. It's not just for the Jewish citizens. It's being aware of what happens in the city, because the city is here to serve. I mean, I'm putting words in your mouth, but I think I'm going to say it. The whole point of the city is to serve constituents, right?
Right. Our one of our strategic priorities is public safety. That's something that is critically important to every single person in our city. And so that makes it important to us, and we put the resources behind it to make sure that our residents know that it matters to us as well.
Is there a ranking system for this kind of thing? In other words, we say we're one of the safest cities in the United States. Is there any way to use that, substantiate that by numbers or something?
There's a couple of different entities that do the ranking, but we are usually in the top 5 of cities of similar size.
Okay, everybody want to hear what you just said? We're in the top 5 of cities our size in the United States of America, which unfortunately at this particular time in our history is very convulsive and not given to safety. And here people go, I'll give you an example. So as I said, we have a synagogue with people are gathering there in the morning and in the evenings. And there's one particular fellow that I do things with, and his son is usually there in the evening also. And his son is 12 years old, and it's nighttime, and he's going home on his bicycle, and it's about a mile away. Just that's it. I always ask him, I said, Yona, when you make sure that you have reflectors, yeah, of course, okay. He's able to ride home. That's how I grew up. Yes. That's not how a lot of people view their living environment, Mayor. Am I correct? That's not the usual.
I would say across the country, it's not. That's how I grew up too, living here. And it's, again, by design. But we have a whole different culture here. People in our city, we like the police. We work with them very closely. They communicate, they participate in activities for kids so that the kids know who they are and know that they can be trusted. We've changed the way we recruit. So we have more officers being recruited in. We have some of the lowest resignation and retirement rates in the police department than we've ever had in the last 5 years. We have the highest or the lowest vacancy rate period that we've ever had. And we have more officers on the street. So it's just a constant effort to be aware of what's happening in the country and then pivoting to make sure we're not lowering our standards at all for our acceptance for those entering the police academy or our training methods. And yet we're changing the way we target who we're trying to recruit in. So we've changed that to target our locals. Who better to protect your community than those that are already living here and love it and have
what a novel idea. I love the D word, design, by design. So speaking of design, we have sponsors that love our show. We wouldn't have them on if we didn't think they're worthy of your time and attention. We vet them. Don't go away. There's more of Mayor Michelle on the other side of this. We'll be right back with this brief message. This is riveting. Be right back. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. Her name is officially Mayor Michelle Romero. She took on that mayor as added to her name when her grandkids go, hey, Mayor. And she just gave us something that's a nugget that is so powerful. You're talking about hiring people to work in the city in service to both police and fire.
Correct.
Why not recruit from people who live here? What a great idea. And then she said that's by design. So let's also talk about design, because the city is dedicated to helping people of all ages. And we have, let's be blunt, in the United States, especially here these days, we have a number of people who are over the age of 65, and thank God, a number of people that are under the age of 25. So in the under 25, that's more about education. Let's focus on that for the moment. And then we'll talk maybe about seniors after that. What is it that sets apart Henderson in terms of education?
Henderson, again, quality education is one of our 5 strategic priorities. And that's, again, another place that we put our resources and our funding. And we have worked very hard to establish incredibly strong relationships with both our Clark County School District, our charter members, schools of all levels. But we've also taken it a step further. And we have taken 30% of our marijuana business licensing revenue and 18% of our redevelopment revenue, put it into a set-aside account for education. From those funds, we have been able to grant more than $15 million over the last year directly to our public schools, both Clark County School District and charter schools. And then we've also used that money. We just broke ground a few months ago on our second pre-K facility, so that we are educating children at an earlier age to get them ready to enter the school environment, better ready to learn and to grow. And we know that kids that have access to pre-K tend to do better throughout their entire lives. We've also have before and after school programs where we partner with CCSD to understand what they're teaching in the schools. They're always our before and after school programs are always near a school, obviously. So we try to find out, what they're teaching so that we know how to help mentor the children, help tutor in areas that need help, and keep that aligned. And then we also, in the last year or so, became our own charter authority. So Henderson itself can better govern which schools come in and how they're performing. So it's been a multitude of things, all focused on outcomes for kids, and then also partnering with our business community so that children from an early age on understand what jobs are out there, what it takes to get those jobs, what skills are needed, so they can kind of have an idea in their heads as they go through school. Hey, I'm really good at math, so I might be interested in this kind of job. And we continue to do that all through up into college. Or if you're not interested in college, we have also training programs that we have created with our Center for Excellence if you want to get a certificate in advanced manufacturing. So we do all kinds of things. We partner with Workforce Connections on career paths, and it's really focusing on just that career paths rather than a job that's going to pay you an hourly wage. So
if this is not just refreshing, this gives one confidence again in what America can be. It is. This is really, these are all our roots, right? This is what everybody aspires to. One of the reasons I asked Mayor Michelle to be on the podcast is to share these insights, these really important aspects of what it means to live in an American community. People, again, we have a worldwide audience. We have people from Baluchistan, from Congo, from Argentina, all over the world. Everybody wants to live in America. And I tell them, you really don't have to live here. What you want is an American mindset. And what Mayor Michelle is sharing with us, this is the American mindset. In other words, good education, facilities to do things out in the open and in a safe environment. Let's talk for a moment, if you'd be so kind. And by the way, I'm just going to throw in a zinger. I'm presuming, and if I'm wrong, you'll tell me, that we don't have a lot of drag queen shows for K students and things like that.
We do not. Although we do not control the libraries, we still don't have that happening here.
Okay, well, we'll leave that off the table for the moment. Okay. Let's talk about the education on an ongoing basis for people who we call them seniors. I call them seasoned citizens, like myself. There are opportunities, aren't there, for education for people on an ongoing basis?
There absolutely is. We have two very active senior centers that we have in the city of Henderson that have a multitude of classes that people can take, opportunities to socialize, special events, bringing people together. There's oftentimes that seasoned citizens don't have family here. They're just by themselves. And so we don't want them to be alone. We want to give them every opportunity to be around people and interact, to have fun and enjoy life throughout their lives. We also have opportunities and have hundreds of senior volunteers at the city doing a variety of different jobs with the police department, with human resources, with animal services. We have just wonderful seniors who continue to give back to their community even as they age. So it's a really great place. In fact, we've been named one of the best places to retire in America because of all the things that we have. And we have so many active seniors. So we have senior pickleball.
Yes, I know.
They have all kinds of very active opportunities to be out and about, get their exercise, and truly enjoy the tail end of their life.
So I want to mention to you that this is the vibe that Henderson has. Henderson is a place, again, it's a safe environment. So that's a bedrock. It is a place of education. And when we're talking about education, as you mentioned so articulately, it's not only for people from K through high school or college and such. It is a place of ongoing, what we call lifelong learning.
Right.
Matter of fact, if with your permission, I created an acronym for your name. May I share it with you?
Please.
Okay, Michelle, Michelle. Ready?
Yep.
Mayor, that's you, indeed creates healthy environment, lifelong learning every day.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I accept that acronym.
You've got it. You created a healthy environment. Now let's talk about the race. So what is the race for mayor? I mean, why is it that there's even a contestant against you? What is it? Just the nature of life. People say, well, she's doing it, I want to do it, et cetera, et cetera. What is the race? When is the actual election? The primary is in June, then the election is November. Is that the process?
So for local elections like mine, it can be done in June. So June 9th is the primary. But if any candidate in any of the local races, including judges, gets 50% plus one, they can be done because it's a nonpartisan race. We keep all of our local elections nonpartisan because the issues are nonpartisan. You want safe streets. You want to flush your toilet and have the water work. Those are all things that everybody wants. Doesn't matter which political party you're leaning toward. And so early voting starts May 23rd, and the actual election is June 9th.
So we're urging everybody. Do you hear this? I'm saying this. Obviously, Michelle is saying, vote for me, not only because it's me, because look at my record. Look what we've done. She didn't say I. Look what we've done. I'm putting words in her mouth. And I am urging everybody. Now, Granted, most of the people listening do not live in Henderson. However, the message reverberates. You may know people that live here. Matter of
Yes.
fact, that happens to me very frequently. I will speak to somebody that I know from Seattle and said, "Oh, by the way, my cousins live in Henderson," or this one. I mean, that's it does happen, or people own property here and such like that. So yes, we want you to vote for Mayor Michelle because she brings a stability to this remarkable city. And it is a remarkable place to live. Again, it's oriented towards lifelong learning, to safety. I can tell you, people know that listen to this, they tune in for one reason, because they care about themselves. We always have interesting people. And people know my backstory, that I was a quadriplegic, and thank God I'm still paralyzed from the waist down. However, I can move around, and I learned how to swim. I swim for an hour and a half a day, 5 days a week at our aquatic center, which I can tell you is world class.
Yes,
I've
it
been
is.
around some of the best. This is, I mean, talking about clean and beautiful and friendly. It's truly wondrous. So a big bravo to you, Mayor. And I hope that this interview is shown to everybody at City Hall and such like that. And people are applauding and saying, yay, because really we want not just to re-elect you, but to enable you to carry on the, like you said, the 5 strategic goals that you have. So we only have a couple more minutes here. I'd like, if you'd be so kind, just tell people what the size of Henderson and our current population, and what do you see over the next 4 years that you're going to be in office?
So Henderson is more than 100 square miles, and we have about 370-ish thousand people who live here. We are larger than St. Louis and Pittsburgh now, and so we're no longer a small city. When I was in high school, which granted was many, many years ago, we had 40,000 people living here, and so we had.
Wait! You went from 40,000 to now
Yes.
307. That's a 9-fold increase.
Yes. Yes. So if there were many years in the late 90s and the early 2000s where Henderson was growing by double-digit rates over and over and over and over, year after year, that has slowed down significantly, which is good, because it helps us be able to maintain infrastructure, public safety, all the things that create that quality of life we talked about, the parks and all the amenities. It helps us to keep up with that growth in a responsible manner. And so that's what we would look forward to moving forward, making sure that our roads are ready for that growth. We have a multitude of roads under construction right now, which you know, especially living in the area that you do. But, that's short-term pain for a long-term, real huge benefit to the community. And we are looking at also in the next 4 years, how are we going to responsibly use AI to better serve our community? That's the direction of the future. We need to understand what that means. We need to understand and make sure that our data is correct and solid, and that we're using it responsibly in a safe manner, but that we are looking at how it can better outcomes. We also want to look at we have so many sports opportunities for kids, especially. Every sport you can think of, we have an active group that participates. What we don't have as much of is a designated place for those in performing arts. And that's really something I would like to focus on, to bring, especially for youth. If you want to go to Las Vegas, we have the Smith Center, which is a beautiful, wonderful facility for performing arts. But our kids don't really have anything that is an opportunity for them. We have a Henderson Symphony Orchestra that would love a place to call home. All of those things could be wonderful for our community, and that's something that I'd really like to work on moving forward.
So this is wonderful, that you can't have any kind of conversation with people on, let's say, a big platform like this without mentioning AI. So you did, and that was wonderful. And I want to share with everybody, people who've been listening know I say this, but for you, AI in my world stands for always improving.
Yes.
And that's what you do. And
Yes.
that's wonderful, what you just laid out for vision. So I'm sorry to say these words. We're coming to a close on our time together right now. I have 3 quick questions for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
Number one, will you come back again?
Sure.
Oh, thank you. Number two, Mayor Michelle Romero. You have only 80 seconds to answer this. What is your most fervent desire?
My most fervent desire is that my grandchildren grow up in an area that they are safe, that they have opportunities to fulfill their dreams, that they are able to recognize and become what it means to be a responsible citizen and then be one. It's I want that for my grandchildren, but I want it for your grandchildren too. And that takes hard work. It takes being able to say no to the wrong things that are happening in the community, and having the fortitude to make the right decision even when it's the hard decision. And so that's something that I have done and will continue to do moving forward. And I don't do it alone. As you said, we have wonderful council members. We have incredible staff at the city of Henderson. All of them have that same goal, and they work hard every day to make sure that our residents feel the effects of their hard work every day. And so I think it's the best place you could possibly want to live in America.
That's wonderful. Number three, may I give you a hug in front of 531,817 people around the world?
Go for it.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. Okay,
Right.
on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. And remember, this is Eye on Las Vegas. Really, Henderson, as wonderful Mayor Michelle said, the best place in America to live. So we're a blessing from wonderful Mayor Michelle and Barry. Go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Michelle, don't go away.